Dear students, in the last class I told you to complete this problem where three charges were given like this. You are asked to find the resultant force on the 5 nanocoulomb charge. So, first I told you to find the force on the charge at C due to the charge at A, FCA. Then force on the charge at C due to the charge at B, FCB. Next you have to find the resultant of these two by using this parallelogram law. So after applying parallelogram law, the magnitude of resultant force on the charge at C, it has to come 6.8 × 10⁻⁻6 Newton. Further, the direction of this resultant force, if I take this as alpha, then this comes to be 25.3 degree. This total angle being 60 degree. If this is 25.3, obviously this will become 34.7. That means the force on the charge at C, it will be acting at an angle of 25.3 degree with the FCB or 34.7 degree with FCA. You can write either this one or this one, both are correct. So in this way, you can find the resultant force on any one charge due to many charges by applying the principle of superposition. Now we shall go for the next problem. Here is another one. Three charges of +2 microcoulomb are placed at A, B, C respectively of a square ABCD of side 0.1 meter. The question is, find the resultant force acting on charge at B here, this one. That means due to these two charges, how much force will be acting on this charge? So as you did in the previous problem, first you represent the direction of forces on the charge at B. Due to the charge at A, the force on this charge at B, it will be in this direction. So this is FBA, force on charge at B due to the charge at A. So we want to find the direction of force on this +2 microcoulomb. Just you assume that this is capable of moving. So due to repulsion from this charge, it tends to move this way. Hence, the direction of force on the charge at B due to the charge at A, it will be along AB. Similarly, force on charge at B due to the charge at C. So due to this charge, on this charge, this becomes the direction of force. So this is FBC. So the two forces acting on B, they are in this direction. Next, you can find the resultant force just by applying this parallelogram law. So you construct a parallelogram. So this will give you the direction of force. So first you calculate the magnitudes of these two forces. Force on charge at B due to the charge at A. So this FBA, first you write the formula. 1/4πε0 Q1 Q2 divided by R square. Now you do substitution. 9 × 10⁻⁹, this one. Q1, this is 2 microcoulomb. Q2, this is also 2 microcoulomb. And the distance between them, 0.1 whole square. So you will get 36, 2 × 2, 4, 4 × 9, 36 into, this is 10⁻⁻12. This is 10⁻⁹. That means in the numerator you will left with 10⁻⁻3. So it will come to the numerator This is 10 to the power of minus 2. It becomes plus 2. So ultimately you will get 10 to the power of minus 1. That means 3.6 Newton in which direction? Along AB. So this is FBA. Similarly, FBC, this one. To find this FBC, here also the two charges are same. The distance is also same. So obviously if you do this calculation, it is 3.6 Newton along CB. So as these two charges are separated by 0.1 meter, these two charges are also separated by 0.1 meter, therefore the magnitude of force will be the same. So again there is no need of doing the calculation once again. So straight away you can write that this FBC is 3.6 into 10 to the power of 3.6 Newton along CB. Therefore, resultant force on charge at B, FB. So this is FBA square plus FBC square plus 2 FBA FBC cos, what is the angle between these two forces? It is 90 degree. So here this term will become 0. FBA, FBC, they are equal. So since FBA is equal to FBC, so this is root 2 times FBA, that means root 2 into 3.6. You do this calculation. Nearly you will get 5.1 Newton. So by using calculator to find this value, it comes to 5.1 Newton. So this is the magnitude of the force. What about the direction? If I take this as alpha, this angle is 90 degree. So tan alpha direction of FB is tan alpha is equal to so this is FBC sin 90 divided by FBA plus FBC cos 90. So if you do this calculation, this tan alpha, it comes to be 1 because this term cos 90 is 0, sin 90 is 1, FBA is equal to FBC, therefore it becomes equal to 1. So alpha is equal to 45 degree. That means the resultant force makes an angle of 45 degree with FBA. Since this total angle is 90 degree, if this angle is 45, this angle will also become equal to 45 degree. That means the direction of this resultant can also be written as 45 degree with FBC. So the resultant makes 45 degree with FBA or 45 degree with FBC. Or otherwise, just by common sense, you can say that this resultant, it will be making equal angle with both, because when these two components are equal, when these two components are equal in magnitude, obviously their resultant will be making equal angle with both. That means this 45 and this 45. So even without doing this step, even without doing this calculation, simply you can write that the resultant make an angle of 45 degree with FBA or FBC. So these type of simple problems will be asked in the board examination. So by applying the concept correctly, you can get the solution very easily. So here you can do this calculation. There is no need of doing this calculation, it remains same. So once this FBA is equal to FBC, the resultant will become root 2 times FBA or FBC. You will get this step. So obviously it will be 45 degree with AB or AC. So this is another problem. You look at the next one. ABCD is a square of side 0.05 meter. So A, B, C, D. It is a square of side 0.05 meter. Here there are charges of plus 10 nanocoulomb, minus 10 nanocoulomb, minus 20 nanocoulomb, plus 20 nanocoulomb, are placed at the corners A, B, C and D respectively of the square ABCD. That means in this square of side 0.05 meter, these forces are kept like this. Now the question is, find the resultant force on charge at D. Find the resultant force on charge at D. So on this charge, you have to find the resultant force. So first you represent the directions of various forces acting on the charge at D. See, this is a positive charge, this is a positive charge, therefore this positive charge tends to repel this one in this direction. So this is FDA, direction of FDA. Next, the force on the charge at D due to this negative charge. Because of this negative charge, on this positive charge, force will be in this direction. So this is FDC. Next, here is one more negative charge. So if I draw a diagonal like this, on this positive charge, due to this negative charge, the force will be in this direction. So this is FDC. So this is FDB. Force on the charge at D due to the charge at B. So due to this positive charge, on this positive charge, the force is in this direction. So this is FDA. Due to this negative charge, on this positive charge, the force is in this direction. Because the negative charge tends to attract it. Here also one more negative charge is there. So this negative charge tends to attract this force this way. So this is the direction of FDB. Now three forces are like this. So what you have to do is, to find the resultant force on the charge at D, you resolve this FDB into two components. So this side it is FDB. Say if I take this as theta, this angle becomes 45 degree because this is a square. So FDB sin 45 this side, this FDB cos 45 this side. So you split this vector FDB into two components like this. So these two components will add up. FDC plus FDB sin 45 will give you the resultant force in this direction. These two vectors being in opposite direction, you find the difference between these two, and the resultant of these two will be towards the larger force. So these two vectors are reduced into a single vector. Next you find the resultant of this and the other vector by using parallelogram law. In that way you can find the resultant force on charge at D. Further, to calculate this force FDB, you need to know this distance. You need to know this distance BD. So from Pythagoras theorem, this BD square, this is equal to BA square plus AD square. That means this is 0.05 square, 0.05 square. So it is 2 into 0.05 square. So therefore, BD, it is root 2 into 0.05 meter. So instead of doing this calculation every time, you just remember that in any square, the length of the diagonal will be root 2 times the side. So length of the diagonal will be always root 2 times the side for any square. Therefore, this is BD. First you calculate force on charge at D due to the charge at A, FDA. You write this formula 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 divided by R square. So this is 9 into 10 to the power of 9. The first one is 10 nanocoulomb. The second one is 20 nanocoulomb divided by R square is 0.05 square. See, while calculating this magnitude of the force, though any of the charges is negative, you should not take that negative sign here. See here, this is positive, no problem. So first you do this calculation. This term cancels. So this is 18 divided by 25. This is 10 to the power of 9. And 10 to the, here 10 to the power of 2 is there, it becomes 10 to the power of minus 7. And when this 5 in 10 to the power of minus 4 square, 10 to the 0.05 square, it is 25 in 10 to the power of minus 4. So when it comes to the numerator, it becomes plus 4. So minus 7 plus 4, it becomes minus 3. Check it once again. So 18 by 25 10 to the power of minus 3 Newton. Here I didn't find the value. You can calculate this value. So you find this value. This is the force in which direction? Along AD. Similarly, this FDB, this one. So 9 into 10 to the power of 9. One is 10 nanocoulomb, another one is 20 nanocoulomb. So 10 into 10 to the power of minus 9 into 20 into 10 to the power of minus 9 divided by root 2 into 0.05 whole square. So when it is squared in the denominator, you will be left with 2 and 2 cancels. So it is 9 divided by 25. Again the same calculation. This is 10 to the power of minus 7. And when this 10 to the power of minus 4 comes to the numerator, it will become plus 4. So minus 7 plus 4, it becomes 10 to the power of minus 3 Newton along dB. In the same way, you calculate FDC, this one. So if you do this calculation, you will get a 36 divided by 25 10 to the power of minus 3 Newton, because this distance is equal. The product of these two charges and this one, if you compare, this will be 2 times. Therefore, the force becomes 2 times. So it is 36 by 25 into 10 to the power of minus 3 Newton along DC in this direction. So on resolving, FDB into rectangular components. On resolving FDB into rectangular components, net force along DC F1. In this direction, net force is FDC plus FDB cos 45. What is this FDC? 36 divided by 25 plus what is this FDB? 9 by 25. This cos 45 is 1 by root 2. Cos 45 is 1 by root 2 in 10 to the power of minus 3. You find this value. So this is 36 plus this 1 by root 2 can be written as 0.707. So this is F1 along DC. You do this calculation here, you find this value. Similarly, see this FDA, this is 18 by 25 10 to the power of minus 3 in this direction. What about this FDB cos 45? FDB, it is 9 by 25, which is smaller than this one. Cos 45 means it becomes still smaller. That means this FDA, it is larger than FDB cos 45. Therefore, the resultant will become FDA minus FDB cos 45. Similarly, the net force along AD is F2, which is FDA minus FDB sin 45. Sorry. Here this side it is sin 45. Of course, the value of sin 45 or cos 45 will remain same. Therefore, you will get the same value here. So in this case, this FDA, this one, FDA, this value, it is greater than FDB cos 45. Therefore, the resultant will become FDA minus FDB cos 45. So this is 18 by 25 minus this 9 by 25 into 0.707 into 10 to the power of minus 3. Now, three forces are reduced into two, F1 and F2. So this is the direction of F1 and this is the direction of F2. Now you find the resultant. Therefore, the resultant force on charge at D, it is equal to root of F1 square plus F2 square plus 2 F1 F2 cos 90. So this third term will become 0. So if you find this F1, this F2, so this is F2, this is along AD. If you find this F1 and F2, finally this answer comes to be 1.76 in 10 to the power of minus 3 Newton. So by applying this parallelogram law of accretion formula, if you calculate the resultant force on the charge at D, so it becomes this much. Next, if you calculate the direction, if you calculate this direction, so this is F, if I take this as alpha, this alpha comes to be 15.3 degree with FDC. So you do this calculation, this step here, you also do this calculation here. You substitute those values in this formula and you check whether you get this much or not. Similarly, you find the direction of resultant, it comes to be 15.3 degree with DC. So if you subtract this 15.3 from 90 degree, you will get this angle. So that becomes the direction of resultant with respect to FDA. So you can find the direction of resultant with respect to FDC or FDA. So if I calculate with respect to FDC, it comes to be 15.3 degree. So these type of lengthy problems usually won't be asked in the annual examination because they are time consuming. But however, I solved this problem here just to know you the procedure, how to get the resultant force when three different forces are like this. Understand? So when three different forces are like this, to find the resultant, you split one force into components and you find the net force on two sides and then you find the resultant. So you remember this procedure. I will go to the next problem, which is a much easier one. There are two positive charges kept at 0.1 meter in the air. See here, this Q1, it is not given. This Q2, it is given as a 6 microcoulomb. The force between them, it is given as 16.2 Newton. So two positive charges A and B kept in air 0.1 meter apart experience a force of 16.2 Newton. So two charges like this, the magnitude of the first charge is not known, magnitude of second charge is given, they are separated by 0.1 meter, the force between them is given as 16.2 Newton. If another charge C of 2 microcoulomb is placed between A and B at a distance of 0.04 meter from A, find the resultant force on the charge C. So the question here is, if another charge C of 2 microcoulomb is kept at A, at C, 0.04 meter from A. See, this is another point C. This distance is given as 0.04 meter. Here a charge of 2 microcoulomb is kept. What is the resultant force on the charge at C? So this is a simple problem which you can do by yourself. To find the resultant force on this charge at C, first you need to know this charge Q1. So initially it is given that force between A and B, F is equal to 16.2 Newton. So from this force you calculate Q1. Since F is equal to K Q1 Q2 divided by R square, this is 16.2. It is 9 into 10 to the power of 9, 6 into 10 to the power of minus 6, Q1 divided by 0.1 square. From this you find Q1. You will get around 3 microcoulomb. So if I find this Q1, you will get 3 microcoulomb. Now you know that this charge is 3 microcoulomb. This charge is 6 microcoulomb, and between these two charges, another charge 2 microcoulomb is kept here. So you are asked to find the net force on the charge at C. So when this is 0.04 meter, the remaining distance will become 0.06 meter. When 2 microcoulomb is kept at C, the force on this 2 microcoulomb due to this 3 microcoulomb here. Here we found Q1 is 3 microcoulomb. So due to this 3 microcoulomb, the force on this charge, this one on this charge 2 microcoulomb will be in this direction. That is FCA. Force on the charge at C due to the charge at A will be in this direction. Similarly, force on the charge at C due to the charge at B, it is in opposite direction. So this is FCB. You find the magnitude of these two forces as they being in opposite direction. The resultant force will be the difference between these two. So we have already written the formula once. You do this calculation. So this force is along AC. Similarly, FCB. You do this calculation. Now you find the resultant force. FC. So this FC, you find the difference between these two. So which is the largest force out of these two? This is 6 by 24. This is 12 by 36. This is 1 by 3, this is 1 by 4. That means this is larger. FCB is larger. So it is FCB minus FCA. You find this. By 16. 6 by 16. Something FCA is larger. 6 by 16 is 3 by 8. 3 by 8. This one is larger, FCA is larger. So it is FCA minus FCB. So if you do this calculation, it comes to be, this FCA is larger than FCB. So if you do this calculation, it comes to nearly 3.75 Newton. Newton along AC. So this is the resultant force on the charge at C, which is of 2 microcoulomb. You do this next problem by yourself. A small sphere of 20 microcoulomb, and there is another sphere of equal diameter but given a charge of 5 microcoulomb. These two spheres are allowed to touch each other and then separated by 10 centimeter in air. Find the force between them. So this sphere has a charge of plus 20 microcoulomb. This sphere has a charge of minus 5 microcoulomb initially. Now these two are touched each other and they are separated by a distance of 10 centimeter. You are asked to find the force between them. See, you know that in case of a charged spherical shell, though the charge resides on its outer surface, for a point outside the sphere, the charge on the sphere act like a point charge at its center. So, the 20 microcoulomb charge here behaves as a point charge at the center, and this acts like a point charge at the center. That is what you learned from the applications of Gauss law. Now when these two charged spheres are kept in contact, see, the positive charge means deficiency of electrons, negative charge means excess of electrons. When these two are kept in contact like this, there will be a redistribution of charge. That means the excess of electrons, they move this side till the electrons get neutralized, and since both charges being of same radius, the remaining charge will be distributed equally on both of them. So the excess of electrons moves to this sphere and neutralize 5 microcoulomb positive charge. The remaining 15 microcoulomb positive charge, it will be distributed equally. See, in first property of charge is additive, I told you this point. So when spheres are kept in contact, charge on each Q is equal to Q1 plus Q2 divided by 2. So this is plus 20, this is minus 5 divided by 2. So it is a plus 7.5 microcoulomb. So now these two charge spheres, they act like 2 point charges separated by 10 centimeter. So this is Q1, this is Q2, which is 7.5 microcoulomb each, and they are separated by 10 centimeter, that means 0.1. Now by using this Coulomb's law, you find this force. So these type of simple problems will be asked not only in board examination, even in CET examination also you can expect these type of questions. So when the two charged bodies are kept in contact, there will be a redistribution of charge. In this case, the redistribution of charge takes place like this. Therefore, this will give you the new force between the two spheres after keeping them in contact. Sometimes in the examination, you may be asked to compare the forces before keeping them in contact and after keeping them in contact. So initially they are separated by 10 centimeter, you find the initial force. After keeping them in contact and separated by the same distance, again you find the force. Compare means you find the ratio. You can expect those type of problems also in the examination. So this is all about problems based on Coulomb's law, that is electric force between charges. As far as the board examination is concerned, you can expect these type of problems only. So in the next class, we shall take up some problems based on concept of electric field.